So first, how did I find out about you? First, I got in touch with you guys because of a real estate transaction, and somehow I got recommended to use your team for that real estate transaction. So that kind of expanded into other involvements I am engaged with in Colombia as well. I was quite pleased with that initial experience, which therefore resulted in additional opportunities. Certainly. Obviously, pending what was going on, timeliness was quite important. On the real estate side, as you know, it was quite essential for us to do this fast and furious. It's an interesting transaction to be living in the United States and having a job done in Medellin, Colombia. And there are all kinds of differences between our two ways of doing business. So certainly quite a bureaucratic rigmarole to get the job done. But timeliness was definitely quite satisfying, and I had absolutely no concerns in that part of the business. So certainly the fact that you guys were very clear, understood that I was a layman in Colombia was quite important. So yes, certainly the process was important. I think to your credit, you understood that even though a businessman and should be well versed and educated, I still needed to be taken from the bottom up to understand what needed to get done. Attentive and timely kind of go hand in hand, right? Yes, and as I said, also understanding that I needed to often be shown the ropes. Certainly, I've had no issue, and also attentive is also a 24/7 attitude, right? Time difference and all that stuff. Quite remarkably, if I were to send you or any of your team members a note of need. I often found that with my crazy hours and being in Europe sometimes as well, that the responsiveness was really timely and attentive. So yeah, absolutely fine. As we started the conversation, the involvement I created for Nexo, and there's more to come, as you and I discussed as well. You're a well-rounded firm, which is quite a benefit, right? So that's one thing. I think the opportunities to go from real estate to operation to commercial transaction to an individual issue, which was my immigration, has definitely be to a benefit because I didn't need to explain myself over and over again. So that's definitely a very important attribute Nexo has. But maybe specifically for your team, the personalization, kind of almost a concierge approach of legal assistance is definitely been remarkable. So thank you for that. How could I not? After all I said, right? How could I not? Yes, certainly I would do that. And I hope what I have experienced is part of the Nexo culture. I would hope to think so. So certainly to your credo, I would recommend your efforts or Nexo efforts in for Colombia.